So now we're going to talk about animations in CSS. Let's look at a simple animation and walk through the syntax and how you would do that, how you might do that. So I have a website here that I've been working on. You may have seen that before, just a similar website. What I've added in the HTML portion of the documentation is just an animation section. I'm just calling it that section simple animation, give me in a class, and just put color change animation. So we're going to make that animation. We're going to go ahead and just show and demonstrate a simple color change and how you might do that. So save that. So we'll go over here. This is the section we're going to apply and the elements we're going to apply our styles to and our animation to. And so over here on the CSS, the corresponding CSS, we have simple animation right here. I've just set up here, this first part is just to set up a box. So I have a width of 300 pixels, a height of 300, text align, center, and a margin of 40 px, and then auto, so it could be centered. But the real thing I want you to pay attention to here is this part, content right here. This part, this is the syntax that will help you with an animation. So what you do is you declare the styles on the element or the class, the elements that you want to apply the animation to. And when you do that, what you have to do is, there are a number of different ways you can do it, but what you have to do is you give it an animation name. I can give it a name here. So I want to declare any of the animation properties here. So I'm going to go ahead and give it animation name and give it a property, whatever I want to call it. And I'm just going to call it color change. It's going to be the name of it. I'm giving the background color gold. Then I'm going to say the duration of the animation. What I want it to do is going to last for 3 seconds. And then once you declare that animation properties within the element that you want to apply it to, then you go over the keyframes. And this allows you to kind of have a transition, if you will, to set what you want it to start at and where you want it to go. So you can do a number of things with the keyframes, but here up top, you're setting the animation properties, you're setting the animation up, if you will, and defining it. And here you're giving more specifics as to what you want it to do, kind of the movement associated with it. So I'm saying go from a background color of gold and go to blue. And by starting it from, I'm really saying at 0% at the very beginning of the animation to 100% ended at blue, and to make this last for 3 seconds. And I've given this color change as a name. Notice as I have this at keyframes word right here, I've used the same name that I've given it in terms of the name of the animation name here. So this color change name is the same, so it knows to apply it to this part of our element right here. So let's go and take a look at this and see what this might look like. And as I look like that, and I'll just hit refresh for this, you see we have this box here, and right there you can see that it started at gold. I'll hit refresh again, and it went to blue, and then it's set right back at gold. So that's essentially what it's a very simple animation, very simple syntax when you think about it. You can go ahead and do a bunch of things with it. So I have it going from gold in the background color and going from gold and going to blue and lasting for 3 seconds. Now a couple of different things you could do. I'm going to go ahead and take this right here and remove this comment from this. You can make this animation iteration count. I can make that color change as many times as I want it to make it. I want to make a change. So I'm gonna go ahead and save this, and I'm just putting the iteration count, how many times I wanted to go through the cycle, if you will, and make it infinite. So if I did that and save that, went back over to here and hit refresh, you notice that our animation is happening, the color, and it just keeps going over and over again. Every 3 seconds, it's going to circle and do the same thing. So you can set up your animations any way you want to, every way you want to set it up. You can set it up, do a number of different things, any way you want it to do it. And not only does this have to be infinite, I can make it, go 5 times and then stop, whatever I want it to do. I can give it a number value here and make that work. But I'll go ahead and set that back to infinite. One other thing I'll show you is I'll comment out this really quick, because as I mentioned, this is letting it go from the beginning, the very start of it, or 0%, to the very end, where you want it to start and end. If I comment this out, and let's say instead of doing from and to, which is an easy, simple way to do it, if I go ahead and put in percentages, I can go ahead and put in percentages, and whatever percentages I want. I can go at 0% at the start, be gold, then 25% in, be red. I could do 50%. I just do 100% here with blue. You can use this syntax as well if you don't want to do just from and to. You can use this syntax. And if I hit save, and I go ahead and refresh this, you can see that it's going and it's applying that red in the middle. It's starting off at gold and it's going right to red and it's going to blue. It's doing exactly what that is. So it's however you want to do it, however you want to set up your syntax. But I figured I'd show you that way too, so you know there's a couple different ways you can set up this simple color change animation. And we're going to go into more animations as we kind of walk through it and do additional things with our animation properties. So I'm going to go ahead and just take that away and give you the simplest way to do it. And you can play around with this on your own and figure out how you want this to look in terms of your own website or just learning the animation property in general, and go ahead and be able to put a couple different things in place as you do your animation. So thank you for taking a look at this. We're going to show you more, and hope you would join us for more of our blog updates in our post.